Oh, that was beauty.
We should have recorded
love
that
those
one, you know what I mean?
two.
Wow.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
Beauty.
This is the Top
That
40
was fun.
Timeline video show. What do we call this? Is it a podcast? I guess it is.
A vlog.
Video,
Vlog.
Vlog. Whatever's cool and trendy. You know what I mean?
For now.
And so it's-
Podcast is overused now.
Yeah. We
not
have
my
to
thing.
introduce a new member of our team, and that is Sarah Jean Lakin, who is the daughter of... Get in here for a minute there, Mr. Lakin. He's
Come on, Dad.
He's doing the...
I'm producing, so now
He's
I'm
producing.
Gotta see where
so
I
he's
get
the
it
boss
from.
today, but this is his daughter, and welcome. She's done some singing and some training, and she's jumping in here at the deep end.
Yeah.
And her birthday is November 13th. I'm telling you that for a reason now, and then I'll move on. But you can leave now. It's all right.
Thanks,
no problem.
Jesus.
You're out. What's your hurry?
Booch
But
out.
our show is brought to you by the Kenny Tosh Show, which is a new live radio
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
And it's heard between 7 and 9 a.m. on radiogta.ca. It's heard in England as well. And he's live from Belfast, Ireland. He'll take your requests.
Hi,
just
Kenny.
Like old school. And and radiogta.ca, tune us in. You can get to us on many different, just Google radiogta.ca and you'll get us. But we have a website, of course, tied in with Halton Hills Online, which is another way to get us. But Kenny Tosh is one of the great Irish broadcasters, and we're lucky to have him. You know, we're not going to give you traffic reports. We're going to play tunes and say good morning and wake you up with a nudge, you know what I mean, instead of a boom. You know, no hard news anymore, just the music.
A nice, easy wake up into the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Most people don't want to look, hear, or see the news anyways.
And they interact
Can't
on
blame
Facebook. Kenny has a group on Facebook, and they all request right there. They're talking to each other. It's like a chat room, I guess, on Facebook. And it's really interesting the way the British listen to the radio. They listen to the radio through Facebook quite a bit. I've noticed that since I've been in radio all
Times
over the
are
world.
changing.
You know, yeah, and it's a great. It's very personable. It's very close. You get very close to your listeners without even meeting them. You know what they want. You know what they. Good morning. How are you? Everybody says it's kind of a family atmosphere, that show.
That's sweet.
And we're delighted to take a feed of it every morning. So there you are, 7 to 9, and we have the 60s at 6 on GTA to kind of. Ease you into your day. You know what I mean? 6 a.m. You don't want to be hearing anything too rocky. If it's old,
A nice,
it's
sweet
okay,
little
though.
groove for the
Yeah.
day.
Cool. Yes, that's right. Anyway, we're going to kick it off this week. What year is this? Doesn't say. I think it's...
No, the top two tidbits are from Money Time.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
necessarily from the day of. Those are the ones that just
Okay,
tidbits.
we're-
Just
It's just some interesting trivia.
So they're tidbits.
those
Just cuz.
Tidbits.
they're not according to the day of that. Where the other stuff is according to that day
Yes, I know
of
what
the
a
year.
tidbit
But the
is.
top two are always just whenever.
I used to buy boxes of tidbits at Timmy's, as a matter of fact. Came in
Tidbit.
12 packs.
Okay, I thought they were Timbits, but okay, maybe
Never
I'm
mind.
I think the rest of the country might need to get the update too.
wrong.
During a recording break for the album Moving Pictures, the band Rush, the band decided to return home to Toronto. And whilst traveling in a small private airplane on the approach to Toronto, Alex Lifeson learned the airport's Morse code identifier YYZ. The syncopated opening of YYZ mirrors and dots and dashes of its Morse code equivalent.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
That
either.
dun, 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 dun. That's what it is. It's the Morse code with YYZ.
YYZ.
I thought that was so
yeah,
awesome
that's
when I saw that.
insane. Absolute music geniuses.
Eric Clapton, go
was
ahead.
cool,
Go
so-
ahead. Go ahead.
So, Eric Clapton has been a member of, and here's all the bands he's been in. The Roosters, Casey Jones and the Engineers, the Yardbirds, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, oh, great band, Cream, Blind Faith, Delaney, and Bonnie and Friends, and Derek and the Dominoes.
That's a number of them.
Now,
Well,
November 13th.
So this
It's
is why
Sarah
it's
Jean's
so
birthday.
important. It's
Yes.
my birthday.
Well, you know what you can do?
So we're going to give them all.
Leveling
You
up,
can do them all because
leveling
it's your
up and
birthday.
getting
Read
older.
them all, right up
All
to a wee
right,
tidbit.
so
Those are
it's
yours.
all on me for my birthday. In November 13th, in 1969, John Lennon purchased the island of Dorrange off the Ireland coast, and he invited any hippie who wishes to live there.
Imagine buying an island.
I'm not gonna lie. I know I might be a late in the years, but I still would like to go.
nice.
I would
It's just
totally,
a tiny, tiny
absolutely
little island.
love that.
Yeah.
And
Sarah could be a hippie.
I've always said I was born in the wrong decade.
I was.
Absolutely. The 60s and flower power, that's where I was at. But on November 13th in 1990, at the off-ramp in Seattle, Temple of the Dog played their only show. Compromised members of Soundgarden and what would become Pearl Jam, the group was formed as a tribute to Mother Love Bone singer Andrew Wood, who died of a heroin overdose. So it's tragic, but at least, they were able to make something amazing out of it in the end.
Seattle was quite the place for music at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So November 13th in 2000, Trisha Yearwood donates a Starlight Fun Center to Vanderbilt University's Children's Hospital. The mobile entertainment center includes a TV monitor, VCR, Nintendo 64 game unit, and can be rolled up right up to a child's bed.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Oh my goodness! Flashback in time. I'm seeing things like a VCR and a Nintendo 64, and I'm like, oh my goodness! How far have we come since then? It's just since 2000. In 2005, at his concert in Anaheim, California. Anaheim.
Yep.
Pardon me. Anaheim, California. Paul McCartney plays Good Day Sunshine, which is beamed into space to wake up astronauts on board on the International Space Station. That is cool. Oh my goodness.
See
that
how
would
much
be
music means to humanity, though. When it's
honestly, music I find is a universal language. Even if you don't understand what is being sung, it speaks to all of us on like a soul level.
that's right. It's one language, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always
Can you
right from
imagine
the
a
heart.
world without music? It'd be
Yep.
a damn boring place, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I wouldn't do that either.
Me either, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure I would have ran off into the woods and started making sounds off of all the different rocks I could start banging and splashing with the water or something. I don't know. In 2006, after failing their attempt at a video streaming service, Google buys YouTube, growing it into the second most popular website worldwide after Google. Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago, and now we're getting all of these ads from Google onto YouTube because of the algorithm. It's just
How
absolutely
many? How big a library is YouTube? It must be absolutely.
Oh my
massive.
goodness, it must be insane by now.
When you think about it, right?
That and
There has to
Facebook
be
could be in competition.
There has to be everything. Everything can be pretty much
You
found on
wouldn't be able
YouTube.
to see everything on YouTube in a lifetime. No.
No,
It
no,
might
I
be
don't. It's not
24/7.
possible. It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
possible.
whatever you look for is on YouTube.
Yeah,
Everything.
there's
Songs,
something for everything,
YouTube or Google.
That's right.
pretty much.
Here's a wee tidbit. For everyone who has made their first dance at their wedding, you're beautiful. James Blunt thinks you're fucked up. It's a saccharine sweet ballad, sure, but it's also extremely clear from the lyrics that it's about a creepy dude high on drugs, reveling in the beauty of a stranger who is with another man, and then despairing that he will never, ever, ever get together with her. Blunt has explained that the stalker dies by suicide in this happy story, and his vision for the song and the music video even reinforces that subtext, showing Blunt's removing his shoes and clothing before jumping off a cliff.
That just sounds
But
like
people
so
just
Disney.
Just
Disney.
wanna. I mean, when you listen to that song without really listening to it, I can see
Well,
how you
yeah.
can mistake it. But if you listen to the
Not
lyrics,
if you watch the
But it's
video.
but it's
And the
exactly
video.
like the fairy tale stories that Disney that we all grew up on. Absolutely beautiful. It inspired so many children. but you actually look at the real Grimm's Brothers tales.
Just because it's a beautiful song
it
doesn't
is
mean
not.
it's about a happy event. You know?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Might as well do the next two little.
Angelina Jolie's uncle Chip Taylor wrote the song "Wild Thing." I didn't know that.
He's got his own albums
Jolie,
too.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I'm gonna have to look that. You know, I'm gonna Google that.
You learn something new
Yeah,
every day.
yeah. He's actually
I'm gonna
got
go in
some
the
of his
Google
own stuff
wormhole,
as well.
and the first on the list is Chip Taylor. Okay. And after making a mistake when recording "Hey Jude," Paul McCartney says, "Oh fucking hell!" at 2:58. But
I need to listen to this now.
Really?
I need to go back and listen to this. Oh my
2:58.
goodness.
Is that still on the recording? Are you supposed to be
Yeah,
able to hear it?
You can find it.
Okay,
can
we
still
need to
find it.
listen to this
You
afterwards.
have
We need to find
but
this.
my suggestion is put headphones on.
Ah.
Okay.
Because you can hear it, but it's not as clear. You put the headphones on and crank it. Yeah, there you go.
I didn't think
Fair.
that Paul swore,
Alright.
as a matter of fact. I know John did. but
Oh, they all did.
I
Don't
know,
kid yourself.
I know, we all swear.
So, at the start of their first UK tour, Dusty Springfield causes a furor when she tells a local magazine, "I wish I'd been born colored. When it comes to singing and feeling, I want to be one of them and not me." I know that feeling.
Yeah,
Then I see how some of them are treated, and I think, thank God I'm white.
yeah.
Those
were
are the
terrible.
times back
Yeah.
then.
There were terrible times back in the 60s
Oh,
there.
horribly.
Black people.
But it's something that
Thank God it's not like that.
I've found from a white perspective, appreciating black culture, is instead of finding that divide between the two, is using that white skin to uplift the color that much more, because they've gone through a crap ton in history.
Yeah, but unfortunately, right now with the way things are going, actually, we could do this forever.
Let's not get into that right now.
That's a delicate topic too. So, 1990, Pete Townsend of the Who tells Newsweek that he is bisexual, saying, "I won't be classified as just a man." He calls his song "Rough Boys" a coming out.
I
That's
didn't know
awesome.
Rough Boys was about coming out.
Yep.
That's interesting.
You can do the next
So,
two.
all right. 1991, Michael Jackson's Black or White music video, directed by John Landis, debuts simultaneously on MTV, BET, and Fox. A strategic move that marks his ascension to the pop throne, because, of course, Michael Jackson is the king of pop.
Yeah.
The 11-minute clip, however, lands Jackson on hot water with viewers who had complained about his excessive crotch grabbing and gratuitous displays of violence. Well, things have most definitely changed since then.
No kidding.
2013, Paul McCartney posted a letter on his website calling on Russian President Vladimir Putin to release 30 Greenpeace activists whom Russian authorities had arrested during a protest over the Arctic oil drilling in September. All of the activists involved had their charges dropped in late December of this year. That's actually very heartwarming.
A wee tidbit here. The hit song from the 90s, Semi-Charmed Life, that is a much deeper message with its seemingly surface-level lyrics. Shortly after the song was released, Third Eye Blind frontman Stephen Jenkins explained in a 1997 interview with Billboard that it's a dirty, filthy song about a drug-fueled bender. It really is funny that people play it on the radio, Jenkins said. I think people hear Semi-Charmed Life as a happy summertime jam, and that's fine with me, he said, but it's not that at all.
That's not what it is.
I'll do one more. John Lennon, who shares my birthday. And very proud of that, as a matter of fact. 20 years apart.
Too.
John Lennon recorded
That's
and produced music under 15 pseudonyms, including the honorary John St. John Johnson, guitar on Whatever Gets You Through the Night, the Reverend Fred Gherkin, acoustic guitar on Bless You, Mr. Winston O'Gherkin, guitar on Going Down on Love, and Dwarf McDougal. Yeah, probably smoked a few that night. There's a guitar on Nobody Leaves You When You're Down Out.
And he's far from a dwarf.
No. Okay.
Not even close.
We're going back to 1926.
Ooh, that's
That's
Go
not
on.
far from your birthday.
Yeah, I was
It's
around
close.
then. Yeah.
goodness, and we're in 23. All right.
So, 1926, the first network radio broadcast, 4.5 hours of varied performances from New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel and other remotes around the country. It airs on the new National Broadcasting Company, soon to be known as NBC.
Holy, that was, you guys, you gotta think, we're in 2023, gonna be going on in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost 100 years ago, and we went from that in technology to broadcast for music and even what we're doing, and now we're actually doing this through the technology that we have, like on our phones, on our tablets, our laptops. It's insane.
Since it first started.
Well, when I started in radio, it was 50,000 watts, and people used to hear you, in Toronto and Scarborough and Hamilton, Aurelia and stuff. But now the world hears you in stereo. It's amazing.
And they can see you too now.
Yeah,
just like what we're
they
doing.
actually know what we look like.
1959, Johnny and the Moondogs. The Beatles played in the final heat of the TV Star Search competition, the Hippodrome Theatre, Manchester, England. Judging was done by the volume of applause each group received when it was called back onto stage at the end of the night. Since the Moondogs had no money to stay overnight in Manchester, they were forced to head back to Liverpool before they were called back on the stage. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. You literally have to leave the entire area.
It's not like they're next door.
Right?
Well, that's quite a ways. That's
Exactly.
Manchester to Liverpool is not. It's not around the corner.
Bit of a distance, especially when you got to get called back on stage. I guess they waited a bit, eh?
Yeah, they had to.
However, that worked. But you want to do the next one?
All right. I guess I'll take the next one. In 1969, Janis Joplin was arrested during a gig in Tampa, Florida, after bad-mouthing a policeman and using vulgar and indecent language. Oh, no. Well, okay, probably shouldn't be doing that at a cop, but... Joplin became upset after police moved into the hall, forcing fans to move back to their seats. Janis Joplin called out a policeman at her concert where he had used a bullhorn to yell at audience members who had left their seats. "Don't f with those people," she screams. "What are you so uptight about? Did you buy a $5 ticket?" Well, $5 ticket.
1969.
Right? The cop tells Joplin after that she needs to tell the crowd to remain seated. And she replies, "I'm not telling them shit."
Say it. Just say it.
Shit. All right. I'm not telling them shit. After more stage ranting where Joplin threatens to kick his face in, she is arrested after the show, charged with using vulgar and indecent language. After posting a $504 bail, the charges are later dropped and she pays a $200 fine.
Janis was a party animal and a nut, and
but she called it as it was.
But she was a people person.
Who got arrested more? Her or
Morrison?
I think she got arrested more than Jim.
She got more, actually.
Let's face it, though. It's the business
I
of
don't know.
rock
They're
and
pretty
roll,
close,
especially
though.
back in the 60s. So that kind of mentality of, well, fuck you, I'm going to do whatever, I'm going to play it louder, I'm going to get
Well,
people
you got to remember, it's the opening of the genre of music that they were all playing,
Yeah,
so they
remember
were all
this-
making their mark, however that was.
It was
When they were popular in the late 60s, things were changing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
From the suit and tie, Jerry and the
100%.
Pacemakers,
Elvis.
Elvis.
And the grinding hip movements,
Yeah.
that was
to
a
the
big
basic
no-no.
guy in jeans singing songs at you, or female. And it was also a time where we could really say what we wanted to say. And that was the first time where media opened up to all the...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then
it was a
Bannon
complete
shut them
breakthrough.
down.
Yeah, but you know what? It was a time that was a very important time in both humanity and in music. It was a time of change.
We gotta keep going.
And
'cause
they
we're
were the
getting
leaders.
tight, I believe.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
No, it's your turn.
It's up to you.
Is it me? Oh, it's me now. Okay. 1993, a mysterious act called The Fireman releases an album called Strawberries, Ocean Ships, Forest in the UK. The cover is a red square with just a touch of text, and the music is mellow electronica. It is later revealed that The Fireman is a Paul McCartney side project, working with the producer Martin Glover of Killing Joke, who, despite being 31 years old, uses the moniker Youth. McCartney uses The Fireman to experiment with electronic sounds under the cloak of anonymity. The tracks are all over 7 minutes long, with random vocals coming in and out, but no coherent lyrics. Youth says the title is a magical reference in the English folk tradition. The project starts when McCartney hires Glover to make dance mixes of songs from his album Off the Ground. Glover records McCartney playing a variety of instruments, including double bass, once owned by Bill Black, by the way, and works up for a set of tracks in the studio using of various loops and samples. When McCartney hears the work in progress, he decides it should be an original album, and The Fireman is born. And the name is a tribute to Paul McCartney's father, who was a fire watcher in Liverpool during World War II. McCartney's involvement remained secret for a while, but fans eventually figure it out, and the duo released 2 more albums, Rushes in 1998 and Electronic Arguments in 2008. There you go. You never know where McCartney is, do you?
Did you know that? About
No, I had
that
no
album?
idea about that.
I didn't either, no.
No.
It sounds actually really interesting. I want to try and look this up now. So,
Alrighty. So let's go with Lady Gaga. What's she up to?
oh,
She's always explored her bisexuality, especially in her early hits. Poker Face was one of those songs about meaning that was not very clear. However, she did clarify in an interview that the song is about being in a relationship with a guy while fantasizing about a girl. Bisexuality was the idea behind the song. That is why the lyrics have the various sexual innuendos.
well,
Yeah,
at least that provides a little bit more clarity. I mean, I always kind of picked up on it with what it was that she was saying, but
Oh,
at the
yeah.
same time, though,
Yeah.
now knowing about that kind of position, it makes a little bit more sense now.
I just have
I'll do
pictures of her playing poker.
I'll do the next one. That's what everybody, I think most people did if they didn't really listen to the lyrics. The first name that the Bee Gees had was the Rattlesnakes. In 1958, the Rattlesnakes broke up and the Gibb brothers formed a new band, Wee Johnny Hayes and the Blue Cats. Barry was Johnny Hayes, but not long after that, the brothers had the rest of their family moved from England to Australia. It was there the trio of brothers began performing to raise spending money. In 1960, they were introduced by promoter Bill Good to Brisbane radio disc jockey Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a big guy, isn't he?
Not the same goal.
Not
No,
the
I
same
know
Bill.
it's not. I was
No.
being facetious.
Still just
It-
throw that in there for the ones that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's definitely not the Bill Gates
No.
we know. It was Gates who named the group Bee Gees, which was later changed to Bee Gees. So Bee Gees, the letters, changed to Bee Gees with the E's added.
Never quite understood that.
The name was in homage to his Goods and Barry Gibb's initials. Though there has been speculation, it's not a reference to Brothers Gibb.
They were huge, the Bee Gees.
Gotta keep going because we're almost out.
All right. On this day, on November 16th, it looks
Oh, yeah,
like.
don't worry about the
Yeah.
days, love. Just go ahead.
1974, John Lennon's Whatever Gets You Through the Night hits #1 in America. Elton
All
John,
right.
who sang and
All
played the
right.
piano on the track, had bet Lennon that it would hit the top spot. As the bet's loser, Lennon must join Elton on stage at Madison Square Garden concert, which he does on November 28th to a manic ovation.
I do remember that.
I do
I
too.
remember
That would have been
and
amazing
I knew
to
about
see.
that. Whatever gets you through your night. I knew the bet they had. And
It was pretty well known. It was pretty. It was out there a
Whatever
lot.
gets you through the night was a huge hit.
Whatever gets
Number
you
one.
through the night.
Number 1, baby.
So,
1975, the variety show Donnie and Marie, starring Donnie and Marie Osmond, debuts on ABC. Their theme song is "May Tomorrow Be a Perfect Day," but the show becomes synonymous with a different tune, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. So that's how that was born. I'll do the next couple here real quickly. 1998, Kmart gets into the online music game, launching a site called Music Favorites. That's very forgettable. 2006, the Recording Industry Association of America sends 417 more letters to 16 college administrators threatening mass lawsuits if file sharing is found happening on university servers, which is it's funny how different things crop up with the internet and how the internet is tied into so many things, you know.
So before the Beach Boys were the Beach Boys, they weren't actually at the beach at all. Their first band name, the Pendletons, was inspired by the plaid wool shirts favored by the surf community. But they eventually got on those surfboards and became the Beach Boys we know and love. After seeing Marvin Gaye's collection of pornography, writer David Ritz suggested that Gaye needed some sexual healing. The two later collaborated on some lyrics which went into a hit song, or the hit song, of course, Sexual Healing, but Ritz was not given any written credit. After Gaye died, Ritz successfully sued.
Didn't know he had a porno problem.
Yeah, that one was a bit interesting to find out.
We're right near the end. So.
All right, a little bit more history. In 1963, headmaster John Waitman of Surrey Grammar School in Guildford, England, bans the popular Beatle mop top haircuts, explaining that this ridiculous style brings out the worst in boys physically. It makes them look like morons.
Everybody always complained about. I thought their hair looked great.
No, I'm sorry. Like there are certain styles you can look back on and you can appreciate. I don't think that's one of them.
This is, you got to remember, this is 1963.
Well, you got to remember how they used to wear their hair too. It was always done, slick back, and
Yeah,
all short.
well,
so when they did what they did, and they were fought on it too. They were so many times it was banned in so many places to have that haircut.
As you guys mentioned, it's about the breakout era of that time.
There's a lot of things changed in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it started to change in 64, 63.
In 1978, during Bob Dylan's show at the San Diego Sports Arena, an audience member throws a silver Christian cross on stage, which the singer picks up and pockets. Perhaps coincidentally, Dylan enters his Christian period in the next year.
There you go. 1997, an all-star rendition of Lou Reed's 1972 song Perfect Day, featuring Reed, Elton John, David Bowie, Tammy Wynette, Joan Armatrading, and several other stars, is released as a single in the UK with proceeds going to the BBC's Children in Need charity. It debuts at #1 on the UK singles chart and raises over £2 million for the appeal. And I'll let you do the last one there. Yeah.
And then we got 2016, Mr. Peter Gabriel launched the Voice Project, the Imprisoned for Art campaign, an effort to free prisoners around the world that had been sent to jail for opposing their governments.
There you go.
Wow.
That's a Gabriel thing. I could see him.
Oh, yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, I showed Sarah a video last night of this quartet.
Oh,
doing,
it was
a
beautifully
Gabriel
done.
tune. Oh my God.
Beautifully
It's just a
done.
whole new level.
Yeah,
The
I
guy's
don't think I've seen that one.
The guy's a musical genius.
My favorite Peter Gabriel song, you'll probably laugh, is Shock the Monkey.
Yeah.
Really?
I love it.
Oh, I do
could you
too,
not
and I
love
wouldn't say it was
Shock
my
the Monkey?
favorite.
Honestly,
I went through it as my
I
favorite.
almost forgotten about him. And last year, all I could hear were like the lyrics of the song "In Your Eyes" going through my head, and I was like, I have to look this up. Find it up on Spotify. I'm like, yes, no, I'm like attaching myself to this.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Peter Gabriel. He's
Oh, how can you not
Phenomenal,
be?
phenomenal musician, artist
I
in
went-
general.
I went to a concert. My brother-in-law and sister got these tickets through work, and we were in box seats, beautiful seats, watching this concert. And my sister just sat there, shaking her head, going, "I'm bored." I'm like, "What?"
I want to go to that new Vegas Sphere thing. They've got 16,000 speakers, 4 acres of screen.
Oh, I think we talked about this already.
And that's where
I remember.
U2
Yeah,
opened it
yeah.
up, and apparently it's just unbelievable. You sit there, and it's like you're just surrounded.
Immersed.
That's,
Can you
that
imagine?
almost reminds me of when on Ontario Place when they first. I think the first one I went and saw was Zeppelin. I'm Dazed and Confused at Ontario Place back then,
That
and
would've been
that
amazing.
what you're saying is not the same, but that kind of makes me remember that seat that would kind of lay back and you'd see everything, and
And
the sound
apparently-
was
And when I
phenomenal.
say 16,000 speakers, that's one for every person in the audience.
Yeah, I know. We
Yeah,
talked about that last
shit.
week. I'm pretty sure we
it
did.
just
Like,
blows me
literally
away.
an
I've
immersive
gotta get down to
experience.
Vegas
Like,
and check that
that
out
was-
before I.
Well, let's go. What are we waiting for?
Yeah, I know.
Let's
The
go.
money would be
Book
nice.
a flight.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
All right, we're brought to-
so please donate to your local broadcasters that are really struggling to do something we want to that we're dreaming of.
Yeah.
So can you do me a favor? Just maybe send a little, $20 a person
Yeah.
for however many people it adds up.
There you go. We're brought to you by Kenny Tosh, the Kenny Tosh Show on Radio GTA, and it's heard mornings 7 to 9, old school radio. And there's Kenny in his studio in Belfast broadcasting to the world. And it's our morning time. He's on in the UK at the midday there. So
Yeah, they're
we
5
kinda
hours
share
ahead of
them.
us.
Yeah, we're the morning show here, and they're
Yeah.
the midday show in the UK on the station. He's at the Heritage Chart Radio. He's on there. And hello to Mike Reed, who used to be on Radio 1, by the way, at BBC. Mike owns that station. So
Good.
see how I'm tied to
Cool.
all these important people. Oh,
You're
Kenny
so
Tosh.
important, Russ.
I am.
You're so
I am.
treasured.
I'm just I can't get over myself. All right, thanks for joining us, guys, for another week of music, rock and roll trivia. And for myself, Granny here, you thought I forgot about on this video, didn't you?
No, I didn't just have a new
How come you
grandchild.
don't have
This
your
is
glasses on?
because I don't need them on when
she
I'm
doesn't
not
need 'em
reading.
now.
I think it makes you look.
I don't need to look at the update that the computer's
Yeah.
doing. It's
Oh,
good.
great, it's updating.
I know that's what I thought when I shut
Yes.
it down, but at
Now,
least
I
it's
know I'm
down.
supposed to say something, but I can't remember what it is, so I'll let you say it.
Uniting community worldwide.
Yeah. Is that it?
How long have we been doing this? Really? We're looking for a replacement.
I'm the
Please send in
newbie.
your resumes.
There we go.
Thanks for
We'd
my
like to
daughter
thank-
for filling
Thank
in.
you
this
guys
week.
for having
Sarah
me.
Jean
Thank
Lakin,
you.
that's her first show on and she's going to be doing more when we get doing Zoom stuff.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna see what we can do with the Zoom.
Have a great week, everybody.
Assume the position.
Take care. We'll see you
Bye.
again for our crazy antics.
Yes.
Oh, the crazy antics.